Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim Watson speaking on Wednesday the 13th of April. Okay, let's just have a look at the news events. First, if I can bring that into play. So news this morning, and we have news today. Okay, so overnight the interest rate was increased by 0.5% versus the quarter of a percent expected. Got that right this time. Aside of that, then inflation 7% in the UK. But that was expected to be higher. The fact it's come out another 0.3 higher probably has put more fire onto wood on the fire. This afternoon we've got the PPI, which is not a great. I don't expect to see a lot of volatility around that, but who knows? And then we've got the Bank of Canada's rate statement, etc. Expected a 0.5% increase here, pretty much in line with expectations, but we'll look at the technicals of that, going completely opposite way at the moment, but that is priced in a 0.5% increase. And then we've got the conference at 4 o'clock, which will give us even further clue of what's going on. So looking at the euro dollar first, looking at the markets, bearish across every single time frame here. I've been sort of out backwards and forwards, and yes, there's scope of it's actually sitting on a bit of support level here, but I'm sure along with 70% or 75% maybe retail traders, it's certainly not a buy from me. I would rather be on the short side. Now of course it could bounce up this morning. I'm just looking through these time frames. There's 4 hourly, there's the hourly. It does have the daily pivot above. I never say never with this, but it just looks weak to me, and that we could see a continuation, but it may need a bit of patience. The pound, as with yesterday with the euro, it could end up consolidating. The pound has been looking soft again, daily wise, really soft, and 4 hourly lower highs. It did have a whip up there yesterday in the afternoon, but that was soon given back. And we're seeing this all the way through. Quite choppy where it's sitting at the moment. It did break. There was a rising trend line coming across the lows there. It did break that and managed to bounce from that this early hours. But for now, it's looking quite soft again as it's as we're in today. Regardless of the high inflation and the necessity maybe to increase interest rates even higher and further, or quicker, according to the Bank of England, probably. Okay, looking at the dollar yen, and again the yen's pushing up further already this morning. It's into its monthly R1 there, one now. High lows, higher highs. It's just been a week. It did consolidate a lot yesterday for quite some time there, but retracements, consolidation phases in this yen at the moment still look on for further upside. Again, it's one of these that is looking at, I'm looking at a weekly chart here, is looking very, very bullish. Of course, at some stage here we're going to get a retracement as opposed to just a consolidation, but for now, looking strong. Morning, Alan. Rito. Morning to you. Okay, Aussie Dollar. Aussie Dollar was leading things yesterday. Not so well this morning, coming off a little bit this morning. Again, it got sort of stopped in its tracks yesterday, rolling over as I was watching it, and watching it at the moment. Lower highs coming through here. It really is a dollar game today. At the moment, again, bearish engulfing bars that we're seeing through amongst all of this continuation sort of bars. That Aussie certainly looks weak at this stage. So weakness right the way through the key markets. New Zealand dollar, I'll just have a quick look at that in between. He says, quickly putting the dailies on here. So again, well, we're in this current bar here. It's very bearish looking. Regardless of the news, it's had its moment there through the news, run into its weekly and selling off really strongly now. We were looking at this a short while ago. I was looking at it a while ago with someone, but certainly looking certainly looking weak at this stage. I did actually come out and look at it on the monthlies there, and you just can see that the descending, whereas this is a regression channel on it, and it's just back to the mean. Was possible the way that looks, it could just keep on rolling back. Canadian dollar, we've got news today, but regardless of that, at the moment it seems to be wanting to continue pushing up. This is of course the US dollar pushing up against the Canadian dollar here, and looking well. We saw the rollover yesterday. I thought we might have seen a bit more than that, but it hasn't, and could be wrong with these markets. And we're just seeing dollar strength coming in. But the pressure, the situation with Ukraine really isn't helping the world economies. And we just see money running to the US dollar from all angles. This looks like it could end up going and putting in a bit of a Gartley pattern. We'll see. But certainly at this stage, looking like we could see a continuation through on the CAD. Okay, they're the majors. Let's have a look at commodities. So gold this morning, let's just come on to the dailies first. Gold, well, it's a line of defense. It's hardly pushing up at the moment, but it has has continued to push up there. Sold off a little bit yesterday afternoon, or evening, but continued to push up there. I wouldn't be shocked in the current state of play whether we don't see further upside. I said yesterday that the big money's coming out away from this, but gold at the moment has been for a while, many weeks. But that doesn't stop the market continuing to push up at this stage. Okay, that's gold. Looking then at oil, I expected a bit of a retracement on oil, a bit of a sell-off on oil. When I say retracement, we've just got we did get a retracement, a bullish one. Anyway, it continued. It's hanging in there at the moment. I just thought with the growth prospects, etc., that were put out by OPEC yesterday, that there might have been surpluses. Well, morning, Bobby. Might have been surpluses, but well, we'll see. But bit of a flag going on here. Looks like it could continue upwards at this stage. Daily pivot below untouched, so maybe that could even give some support. Bit of a funny price action then. It's effectively given a lower high, so I'd be wary of buying into that. But again, I tend to look at that in the afternoons more so. And yesterday afternoon, it just carried on going. Had my trend line sitting here patiently. In fact, I'll just draw that out a little bit further because it's still quite significant. Right, moving across, let's have a look at the other markets here. Quick look across. Firstly, let's go into the world of cryptos. Bitcoin's off this morning. Managed a bit of bounce off its trend line yesterday. It actually held on to quite a bit of its gains, but looking soft again. And I think to me it all looks like it's set up to break, but it's just a consolidation before a further breakdown. Could be wrong, of course. Ethereum is same sort of pattern. I do wonder if this is just consolidation in a correction. And Ripple, right the way through here again, there's a few that are not running in a similar pattern. Binance may be the odd one out here, and is the odd one out a little bit more of a push up this morning, but overall it's relatively small amounts, but maybe looking slightly the most bullish of them at the moment, but I can't get interested in those on the long side. The major indices, let's have a look then. The CSI 300, it actually is off on where it closed yesterday. So as I said, I'm still looking at this and thinking if it breaks that 1492 area, it becomes a good sell. The Nikkei, it's up today, starting to backfill the gaps. Up at the moment, at least we're seeing quite a few markets up at the moment. I'm just looking down my chart here and looking at the change. Nifty 50, well, that's the exception to the rule. It has gone back and filled some gaps by the looks of it, bit backfilling going in there, but at the moment looking soft, and well, there's plenty of gaps to fill below, which it might just follow on through and do. Looking at US markets first, and I'll come back to European. US markets catching a bit of a bounce on the S&Ps here. Nasdaq at the moment, but really they may just be given opportunities for selling into them as the day progresses. So as I say, there are some retracements at the moment, but they may be short-lived. The DAX still looks weak to me. It's still in this sort of extending flag sort of picture. When a flag is no longer a flag, well, this is getting towards that stage, isn't it? Still looking soft at the moment as well. The CAC, it's just consolidated in this range here. Very small movement, relatively. It just looks soft. So there we go. And the Ftse. Well, the Ftse came off yesterday. I'm just waiting for it to open in just a minute. But looking at what's going on, yes, it might raise a little bit there. It's the least interesting to look at. There we go, pinged. Just looking. Might bounce. I wouldn't be looking to short this. It'd be, although it could well roll over with the others, but the easier route may be on the likes of the CAC or the US markets to short. Saying this flies down as he talks. Right, that's it for me. I wish you a great day's trading. I'll catch you in the morrow. Bye for now.